I believe that education is not the work of one person. It's not just for government alone, it's for everybody, especially in a country with a population as large as ours. So Ascend Education, we're like an intervention organization. And our aim is not just to improve the quality, but also the quantity. When I say quantity, everybody left behind. With the return of the mission schools, many of the mission schools started charging fees that even their members couldn't afford. So they became like the private schools. That didn't solve the problem for people, lower down the ladder.
We're very much interested in the education sector.
In the past 4 years, we've been committed to raising standards in schools and organizations that we partner with in Lagos, Ogun, and Ekiti states. We have been able to do this through action researches, organizing summer schools, offering consulting services, and teacher training sessions to these schools. We have also developed engaging and relevant resources that the students can relate with. We thank you for your continued support.
Ascend Education Foundation has opened up several opportunities for me to contribute to society in Nigeria. We are more active in Lagos State, but we also have representations all over Nigeria. And in future, we hope to have centers everywhere in Nigeria and also in West Africa. And we are going to go global also by the grace of God.
Like I said, the program that we ran at the church, I see students literally almost every Sunday. And I've seen a drastic change in their lives from, greeting me and communicating with me. We stand and we talk, how are you, how's your family? Things that they would never have done before. Normally they would have spoken to me in Yoruba. Not that there's anything wrong with speaking Yoruba, but I have seen a drastic change in their lives since they joined the program.
I mean, because there's so much information out there on the internet, if you can't read and write, how do you access the information that's out there, first of all? So that's a massive impact. Also, it affects your thinking. It opens up vistas that would ordinarily not be possible. It plays a very, very vital role in anyone's life.
Well, I've experienced a tremendous change in the life of the students, being that the program has impacted the students in a lot way, and it has made them to achieve a lot during their learning. Particularly before the beginning of the program, they are having challenges with studying and reading, but during the program, we are able to go into details to know the reason why they are having difficulties in their challenge.
And the aim of our literacy class was to equip our students with literacy skills that they could use in everyday life. For example, how to write a letter of complaint, how to write an informal letter to a friend, how to converse using useful connectors like firstly, secondly, in addition, in conclusion. So we also taught them writing, introduction, body, conclusion.
The IWS Skills Acquisition Center is 27 years this year, and the IWS itself, the International Women's Society, is 67. The current chairperson of the IWS Skills Acquisition Center is Chief Dr. Mrs. Victoria Akpan. So the Ascend Education Foundation brought in a very unique methodology to adult literacy training. The IWS Skills Center is a skills acquisition or vocational training center where we train students in catering and events management, sewing and fashion design, beauty and hairdressing services, computer-related courses, and adult literacy course. So with the collaborations with Ascend Education Foundation, we were able to form a unique blend between what we teach and their own accelerated method of teaching, which has really impacted the life of our students.
The organization that came during the holiday, they were very wonderful people. They came, the children, they gained a lot. And even me, I learned a lot from what they did. and it's a very good thing that anybody who started it is doing.
Jewels Foundation is a beneficiary of Ascend Education Foundation's commitment to improve the quality and standard of education in Nigeria. In April 2023, Jewels Foundation opened its first learning center in Ijere-Ekiti, Nigeria, to provide free literacy intervention and free digital literacy to young students in Nigeria. This is to address the problem of poor literacy and almost unavailability of digital skills in that community. We got a complete consultancy package: communication skills, literacy, training, design, training, methodology, mention it, all free of charge.
When we did a recent analysis on the test results, and I saw little points going up, I saw some small improvement. Doesn't mean that they've reached pass mark, but I'm seeing some incremental. In fact, we were discussing that today, weren't we? In your group, you had seen some, and said, okay, so you don't get too down and depressed. There is some light in that they are. And you can talk to them yourselves as well, as to what they've learned or how they've benefited. But I've seen from the independent tests we do that there is, they're getting better, but it's slow. And my sister will explain some of the challenges why it's slow. There are multiple complex reasons for that.
Bangaro Nursery and Primary is a subsidiary. We were part of the Ascend Educational Foundation initiative for summer in 2024, and we were very privileged to have them. The facilities they brought in, the people that came around, a huge source of encouragement and motivation to both the school and pupils alike. The teachers were all, they saw a need to improve.
I am the founder and CEO of Let It Shine Academy, which is a free secondary school that provides free and quality education to children that are marginalized. For the past, I think, 3.5 years, we've had the privilege to partner with Ascend Foundation, and I always say that at this point, Ascend is family, and I think the depth of our partnership goes to the point that, Mrs. Ye, Mrs. Silver, Mrs. Yetunde Fawehimi have become more than just mentors, but family and aunts to me, and they actually also are on the board of Let It Shine Academy, so the secondary school. I think that speaks to the depth of this relationship that we've built over the past few years.
Partnering with Ascend has been monumental to the growth and progress of the lives that God has put under our care. For example, just like feeding is a basic necessity, so is literacy a basic necessity. So we gather these children and we try to meet those basic needs for us, feed them, do spa day and all of that. However, the introduction of literacy was like light coming into their world.
Well, Ascend has been working with us for over 3 years now, and in no small measure have we seen changes in the children. We've seen enormous improvements both in handwriting, in spelling, in vocabulary.
I've observed some improvements, majorly concerning the slow learners we have in the class. Most of them are now getting to average stage of learning. So it's a lot of improvements that I found out after the summer lesson.
It has helped students from different backgrounds to be able to catch up with their peer groups.
I remember when I was first introduced to Ascend, it was because there was a particular problem that I had after running the secondary school for a year. And that problem was a lot of children were coming to me to join the secondary school, obviously for free, because they didn't have access to private or public education, and realizing that their backgrounds, their foundations weren't right. So a lot of them, because of the circumstances that they come with and their backgrounds, didn't have access to even quality primary school. So a lot of them coming to secondary school level couldn't read or write or spell.
Actually, the
phonics that they taught them. I think they improved with the phonics.
I felt many things because when I was at home, I was reading. So when I get to the street, I wasn't able to read. But when I heard about the lesson, they started teaching us. I began to come back again, began to spell some words, began to read and write.
Because it helped me in my studies. And also it also helped me in how to coordinate with people.
My experience during the summer school was so wonderful, and it had contributed positively to the academic works.
Ascend Educational Foundation has helped me a lot during summer school, most especially in my English language. It helped me differentiate between sounds. It helped me know how to pronounce sounds and how to identify them.
They teach us how to read, they teach us how to pronounce sounds, and they teach us how to know our diagrams, our alphabet also.
Before I was in 05, but throughout that lesson, as I came here, they promoted me to JS2 because the lesson they have taught me was the question they asked me during the lesson was inside the exam they gave me.
My experience was so good that even though my father does not want me to come, I myself would definitely come and take permission. I will first and take permission from my parents, then I will come, because it was a great lesson and taught me a lot of things I never knew.
The Ascend Foundation, they teach us sounds, everything. They teach us how to write in our handwriting and everything.
Like, it changed my life. Like now, I can stay among my friends. When they're speaking English, I can hear them, but I can speak as I know it, and I can write as I know I can read.
My experience was fantastic, and the teacher was friendly. They taught us well. If we are not correct, they used to correct us.
And I came here to learn. I have not gone to school before, but as I came here, I know how to read. Because it's very important to me to learn.
It made me feel happy, and I gained how to spell because since I was in the street, I don't know how to spell.
It has helped me so greatly that some of the questions my teacher has been giving us, it was only few of the students, and I was among one of the students who were answering the questions.
Especially in my English now. Since when I've been taught how to identify consonant sounds, my English levels and grades have improved. I usually have C in English, but now I have B and E's in English.
Because it makes me happy because I cannot read and spell some words. So the lesson, it makes me feel happy because I can read and spell and do other things. I cannot talk to my fellow students.
A lot. Like now, they can send me to the market. Anything I want to buy, I jot it down. I calculate everything, and I'm able now to speak to people. Before I was very shy because I can't express myself.
It improved me in many ways. Like it helped me to in any way I went to. I was able to read. When I was in I can't read.
You help me because if I see book, I can read it. But not well, so but I can read it. Before I can't study anything, but now I can read it.
It has helped me in my handwriting.
It helped me by spelling and dictating.
The lesson made me feel happy because I gained a lot from it. Because before I don't know how to write or spell difficult words. So the lesson make me to learn how to spell and write, and also make my English correct. After the lesson, I used to carry my book and started to practice to know more.
I find it rewarding when I see progress being made, when I see that a student is really making efforts. And yesterday I actually interviewed them to ask them what they felt they had learned, and I was very pleased with some of the replies that I got. Some of them will talk to you today, and I'm sure they will be telling you different things about what they've learned.
In October 2023, Ascend Education Foundation collaborated with Ishobi Development Association. This is an association based in Ilisho, Remo, Ogun State. Ascend Education Foundation designed a program whereby we trained over 80 teachers on how to use phonics to teach literacy. The program was a huge success and we received positive feedback.
The immediate inspiration was my friend who had, I'm a member of the 8 o'clock prayer fellowship where Ascend was birthed. And when the call first came out, I didn't think that it was something I could do because I'm not a professional teacher. But one of my friends did volunteer and then gradually said that you don't have to be a teacher, it's something that you can do, because we both had a passion for education and the current state of education in the country. So she encouraged me to do, and I did.
I have a passion for education, and I also have compassion for those who have missed out on education, both adults and children. These are the factors that have driven me to join Ascend Education Foundation.
Oh yes, when people come into your classroom, especially adults, and they feel they cannot progress in learning. I remember we had a student once, and she just kept saying that, she had never had an education, and it was, due to the fact that she didn't think that she could learn or she could progress in life. And we were able to assure her that at the end of the class, she would become someone that can speak publicly and address people in English language. And at the end of the program, she was able to do so.
Community is very important. And to be honest, if the community had taken an active role in the past, when obviously the government kind of dropped the ball in terms of education, when it became overwhelming for the government, if the community had taken that role, we wouldn't be where we are today. So community is very important. If you have a community where literacy is welcome, where education is accepted, where everybody puts in everything to help a child get an education, it will be fantastic. Now, we can say that teachers are very good, and no doubt about it, but volunteering has been fantastic. Being a volunteer myself, I know that volunteers sometimes are not stable, but when you have a stable flow of volunteers, it can go a long way in bridging the gap where there are not adequate teachers, or the parents are not able to fill in. The volunteers can actually fill in, and you can find the child is able to get proper education even within that space.
I would advise them to jump right in, because like I said, I didn't start when the call first went out because I thought I'm not a teacher, I won't fit in. But there's room for everyone. There's need for teachers, there's need for people that organize, there's need for all sorts of fundraisers. It's the whole gamut. So whatever it is that you do, there's a role for you in Ascend.
Yes, I tell them that I am come here to learn very much. Themselves, they can come and learn because it's important for life to come and learn yourself. I can try and small.
I will advise them to come and learn because it's very important to learn so that it can help you when meeting big people, talking to people from the other countries, going to work, and also in your studies. It can help you when looking for a job.
I will tell them that they should call it because it can help them in the future or anything can help them so that they will learn more.
I will advise them by telling them they teach in the lesson, teach well in the lesson.
When the mole came out and the mole came running, when we drove in first and I saw Darasimi, I was like, that is Darasimi. That is a changed human being. And Darasimi and I have been talking. I showed him pictures
of when Ascend did the spa day for them, cleaned them up, but just as they came off the street, unclean, and I showed him the picture, was like, and he faced me and he said, Mommy, I will not disappoint you. I'm not going back. And that just made a lot of difference because he's now, the reading is coming naturally to them. Yes, some of them are still they're struggling with speaking, but you can tell the huge difference. It's like worlds apart.
Give them a head start already.
So the literacy program has been just fantastic and from the result I've seen. Right. It made it worth it. At that time, it even looked like, were we even achieving anything? Some days we look at each other and think, what did we do here? But I can see now that has translated into a lot. I see magnificent lives just opening up from this program. It's amazing.
So it looks like Ascend Education Foundation actually has taken these children to a higher level of life. Set them on a different trajectory of success.
That's correct. It is amazing. It is amazing. Thank you.
A big thank you to Ascend Education Foundation. May God reward them for the good job. Well done.
Where do we see ourselves? We want to start offering like online classes, and we're already recording. We're recording lessons because we want a situation where we don't have to be there physically to pass on the knowledge. So we will just gather people maybe in a village setting, maybe they gather in a town hall or somewhere in the evening, in the afternoon, a time convenient for most of them, and then they can be taught. And what we just need is to train somebody on ground who will be just like a coordinator or supervisor to maintain law and order in the classroom. We also want to begin to give our children more Afrocentric education. What do I mean by that? We want education that will provoke innovation in people. So yes, nothing wrong with learning about snow and some of those things, but especially in the rural setting, we want situations where the children who are born in those areas, they know the place. I mean, I give an example. My driver, he grew up in the village and he was a farmer. And there are times I will be in the car and I'll be saying, oh, it's cloudy, it's going to rain. And he'll tell me, no, it's not going to rain. The cloud is there, the cloud is there. And he's not saying this from knowledge of geography, but from where he grew up. Right now, we're collaborating with different organizations. There's nothing we do just by ourselves. We do it in collaboration. I see more collaboration. I see more people calling us. I see maybe estates running programs for their domestics. So, gated estates, maybe a Saturday, everybody, because now you're seeing a lot of property and resident owners association being strong. I see collaboration with such people. And so we go in there, we talk to their staff, we help them, to improve on the quality of the services they deliver to their employers. I see us collaborating with government, sub-nationals all over the place, just again, improving the quality of education. I see us also collaborating with health in the area of health and safety. Why do I say that? One of the things that really gets me when I'm driving and I see children standing up in the car and their parents are the ones driving. You slam the brakes and that child is a missile through the windscreen. And I think no parent will do that deliberately. It's because they don't know. So beyond literacy classes, things like health and safety, taking care of your environment, a lot of those, I see us going in that direction, collaborating with other agencies and even multilateral agencies. That's where I see us going. So the sky is the limit for us then.